So as you know, I've been using Runna for ages now. But can AI actually build me a better training plan? Now I have the Beneva half marathon coming up June 28th, and I plugged it into Runna. I decided to do a quick short stint of a running plan, and a buddy of mine said, "You're going to run 145 or bust." I ran 148 and some odd seconds at the BMO half marathon. And I think 145 is doable, but it's definitely going to push the pace. With Runna, I wasn't sure whether I was going to get hurt through the training plan, whether I was going to end up being able to push myself enough in order to get that 145. So what I did was I decided to plug in my Runna training plan into Claude and to see if Claude's algorithm would beat Runna. So, is Claude smarter than Runna's algorithm? Or am I about to ruin my training? We're going to figure that out. So as you can see on the screen here, I plugged a few metrics into Claude. I asked it simply to take my VO2 max and my lactate threshold PDF that I got when I did the threshold training and turn it into a fully interactive training plan to help me run a 145 half marathon on June 28th. It read through it. It said it's going to be a challenge because that's faster than the report's 6-month projection, and I only had 7 weeks, 48 days. So it said a whole bunch of stuff. I told it that I ran the 148 half marathon on May 3rd, so please take this into account. It said that's a huge data point. Your 148 on May 3rd is much stronger than the lab's report projection, and it's only 11 seconds a kilometer off your 145 goal, which 11 seconds a kilometer doesn't sound like much, but in the running world, it definitely is a lot. I gave it the course map. It detailed everything inside of Claude, and it gave me, different pacing throughout the entire course. And then that's when I decided to plug Runna into it. So I gave it my Runna plan and I asked it, "Do you agree with this plan from Runna?" And here's the honest takes. It said the Runna plan is reasonable but conservative. It'll get you to the finish line healthy, but I don't think it's optimized for a 145 half marathon. There's a comparison between Runna and Claude. Peak weekly volume for Runna is around 36 kilometers in week 5. Peak weekly volume for his, or Claude's, is 55 kilometers or so in week 4. Quality sessions a week, 1 on Runna and 2 in Claude. The longest run is 18 kilometers in Runna and 20 in Claude. Week 1 post-race approach intervals, Thursday, day 11, which is huge because Claude actually let me recover a little longer and then amp things up. Long run days is Sunday, and in Claude's it's Saturday, even though I pushed it to Sunday with Claude after the fact. And then we do strength around 2 times, but much looser. So it built me a hybrid plan. It kept the structure of Runna, but then it created a little more strictness. So we'll go through each of the plans. I'll show you guys Runna's plan, just a little video scrolling through the weeks right here. And then I'll show you Claude's plan. Which looks like so. It's definitely a little more interesting. It's got thresholds, which I really like, especially with Runna. It's the same thing. It gives me thresholds and all that kind of stuff. The differences are the volume, I believe, and the way Claude approaches it. Again, it's taking Runna's algorithm and tweaking it a little bit to help me get to that 145. It also understands the Beneva half marathon course, so it's taking that into account as well. So I'm impressed by that. but I'm worried about the overall volume and the fact that it's only 7 weeks. So don't get me wrong. A plan on paper is just a plan. I have to follow it. And I have been. Unfortunately, I missed a couple runs last week due to a sickness. I had a cough, I had a runny nose, and I was definitely dying. But I got back into it. I did a tempo run yesterday where I had to hold 300-meter repeats, which Runna did as well as Claude. So I didn't just theorize it. I'm putting this plan into action, and I'm very excited to see where it takes me. Will I stick with it? I don't know yet. We're going to see how this plays out. I've already paid for the entire year of Runna. I've given my reactions as a beginner runner before about Runna, how I think it pushes you a little too hard right off the hop. However, maybe I'm not really a beginner runner anymore since I've run that half marathon and I've got another one coming up. The thing that surprised me the most is that Claude was able to take all of this and turn it into an amazing plan that is fully interactive online. I'm able to click stuff, I'm able to change stuff, I'm able to move things around. So again, will I stick with it? I'm not completely sure, but I may, for my next training block, do Runna again and plug it into Claude and see if it agrees with it, because the next one won't be as condensed. It'll be a longer training block. So that's what I would change next time, is the fact that I will have a full training block for whatever I'm going to do next and see if Claude agrees with it. So that does it for this quick Beneva half marathon plan with a hybrid of Runna and Claude mixed together. Would you let AI rewrite your training plan? Drop a yes or no in the comment section below and keep it locked to JB Running. Like, subscribe, do all that other jazz, and drop in the comment section as well what training app you use in order to figure out your training plan, if you use an app at all. Peace out, folks.